Welcome to the Cookshack Chronicles. I'm your host, Brad Pittman. Today we're going to have a great show, going to have a good time, going to just jabber a little bit and cook a little meat. You never know what you're going to get. By the way, new coffee cup for the Cookshack. This coffee, spectacular. Yeah, don't judge me. It's in my DNA. Make dad jokes. It is what it is. Plus, I'm a little loopy right now. I just came off of a thing where I ate nothing but dried grapes for about 2 weeks. Yeah, it's all about raising awareness. Okay, that's it. I'm done with that. But yeah, we're gonna have a good time today. Today, I'm gonna take a pork loin and make some nice thick pork chops out of it, and we're gonna smoke those and do a reverse sear on them. Also, gonna do some stuffed jalapenos. So y'all buckle on up, kick back, and get ready to have a good time. Good stuff. All right, y'all. First thing we're gonna start with, nice big old fat pork tenderloin. And a lot of people like to cut them up thin. I like a nice thick pork chop when I'm doing on the smoker. Almost like a pork steak. I mean, I like them nice and thick. So about 1.5 inches, 2 inches, that's about 1.5 inches. They just take a lot of good smoke and they're just really good. And for me, I know I got something on my plate there. I like doing the pork loins like this because that way I'm not getting a bunch of little raggedy pork chops thrown in like they'll do. They have the ends that just aren't that great. And a lot of times they'll throw a couple of those in under the big fat juicy ones, and you wind up they just don't cook evenly. So I like doing this because I know what I'm getting. And plus, like I say, you bite into a fat thick pork chop, you're biting into something. So also, see, I got, let me see here, 7 nice big pork chops out of that one pork loin. It's a half a pork loin, so I mean, that'll feed the family all night long. I mean, you got leftovers and everything else. So I got a little rub here that I made. There's just a little bit of salt, pepper, garlic powder, and paprika. I got to put rub on about everything. Gives it some flavor. Now, if you really want to trim your pork loin, you can. I don't like to. For me, fat's the flavor. Of course, I'm not going to sit and eat just a great big glob of fat because that's just nasty and not even close to good for you. You can trim that off when it's cooked. But at the same time, you want that in there so it can kind of render out and go on ahead and give your pork chop that little bit extra kick it needs. Going ahead and get both sides of them. And these are going to be nice and flavorful. I mean, it doesn't need a whole lot of rub. I mixed up just enough, I believe. And if I didn't, we're going to fake it and pretend like I did. But I think I actually did mix up exactly enough rub. So, even got a little bit left over. I'm going to put him on that one because I was stingy. I didn't know. We wanted enough rub on there to make them good, where it'll stick on there. Not a lot of prep to these. Like I say, you cut them and rub them. That's it. I like to wear gloves whenever I'm handling raw pork or raw chicken. Any kind of raw meat you're supposed to wear gloves with, just because it's a lot safer. You won't get sick. You won't make anybody else sick. And we'll throw a little bit more on this guy. He's looking a little rubless. So there we go. We've got a nice little coat of rub on there. It's already starting to soak in and do its thing. So I'm going to go on ahead and put these on. Putting them in the smoker. I got a little bit of hickory in there, giving a nice bold smoke flavor. And we're just gonna let them go to their at least 165. I know now they've said you can eat pork a little bit more medium. I can't stand pink pork. To me, I feel like I'm not safe. So I'd rather have it a little bit more done, but they're still gonna turn out nice and juicy. So time to put these bad boys on. All right, y'all, now I'm gonna make some stuffed jalapenos. There's a million ways to do it. I mean, a lot of people like to just put cheese in them. Some put cream cheese, you name it. I like to put sausage and just regular cheese in there. Because the jalapenos give it a nice little bit of heat. I took a lot of the seeds out because my family's eating them too. Not doing a lot of them, but one thing I do, I go on ahead and cut the end off of it, hollow it out good. And one thing I've learned is I can take these little breakfast sausage links and I can take and just start wrapping them with cheese. Just like this. That'll give me a nice little bit of cheese in there. And it's just easier to stuff into that jalapeno. I mean, a lot of the cheese is going to fall out right there, but that's okay. And I could cut the sausage off there, but instead, I just go ahead and press it in good. And poof, that bad boy is sealed. The cheese shouldn't leak out, but we'll see. So what we do, we're going to go ahead and just do all 4 of these like that. Gonna be really good. I think so. But I like hot stuff. When COVID first hit, on my YouTube channel, I put out a thing on social media saying anyone that would send me anything off of a list that I did on Amazon, I would use any of my characters that they wanted, and I would do whatever they wanted me to while I was eating this hot challenge. It was all the hot challenges, like the toe of Satan. By the way, that thing is horrible. It is incredibly hot, one of the hottest things I've ever eaten before. And my character Wayne did that. That was pretty funny. He had to read the little engine that could. By the end of it, the little engine couldn't, because that was just ridiculous hot, but it was still good. Made people laugh. Another friend of mine sent me the white chocolate challenge. And the white chocolate challenge is a piece of what you think white chocolate, but it's got 12 of the hottest peppers in the world mixed in with it. I mean, it's ridiculous hot. And he wanted me to make my clown Murray read the dirty parts of 50 Shades of Grey. You know, I've never read 50 Shades of Grey. I've always heard a little bit about it. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I'll do it. It'll make people laugh. And so I put on all my makeup and I Googled 50 Shades of Grey dirty parts. Clicked on something, found paragraphs. I'm like, cool, we're golden. We got this. Didn't read anything. Got the chocolate out, started filming. And this is Murray's voice. Murray is not a normal clown. Murray is a horrible clown. So I'm starting to read this as I'm eating this hot piece of chocolate, and it is ridiculous hot. I'm crying, just tears streaming. And some of the things I had to read in this voice were horrible. But oh, it was so much fun. But just the reason I'm telling you that is I love hot stuff. And this is some nice heat without getting ridiculous hot. You know, I wouldn't feed it to a baby or anything, but you know, you teenagers and all, they may like them. So, you know, go for it. It's really tasty, nice, neat, compact package, and you're good. Now, one piece of pepper trivia that a lot of people don't realize, a pepper is the nosiest vegetable out there. Yes, because they jalapeno business. Well, I'm gonna go on ahead and put these in the smoker. So, here we go, Daddy-O. All right, everybody, I got my peppers and I got my pork chops in the smoker there. It's time for my favorite part of the whole process. Just kicking back and relaxing. Well, as you can see, my favorite part's actually the eating, but on the show it's the relaxing, which I do enjoy. And that's some good coffee. out of this world. Yeah, I know they're bad. Leave me alone. But I got a lot of things coming up with this show that I'm excited about, and I hope they work out. I mean, if they do, they do. It'll be great. If they don't, yeah, I'm still having fun making it. I'm feeding my family, hopefully inspiring you to help yours out and feed them, cook good stuff for them. And if nothing else, just to have fun. Make everything you do your own, because that's important. What's also important right now, is how we take care of each other. And I'm going to get on my soapbox a little bit today. I don't care if you're a vaxxer, anti-vaxxer, whatnot. I don't care. I don't care if you wear a mask constantly. That's the thing. If you don't want to get the shot, cool. And if you get the shot, cool. I was one of the first ones that got it. That was just my choice. But at the same time, just respect everybody. All we need to do to beat this thing is do what we were taught in kindergarten. Wash your hands. Stay away from people. Don't get in their personal space. Don't cough and sneeze on them. Just do what you were taught in kindergarten, and that will lick this thing. Whether you get the shot, whether you wear a mask, whatever you do, that'll help a whole lot. So do that. So now I'm off my soapbox. We're gonna be doing a lot of neat things here. I'm rearranging the Cookshack a little bit. You'll notice it looks a little bit different right now. Gonna be doing some more here in the coming weeks. Also, I want y'all to share this thing. I've decided I'm just keeping it on YouTube right now, but I need at least 1,000 subscribers to monetize this thing. And as much as I like it, I would like it more if I made money off of it, because I'm not allergic to money. The way it runs from me, I think it's allergic to me, but yeah, it is what it is. But the more that I can do, if I can inspire one person out there to say, hey, I've never cooked a butt before. I've never, cut my own pork chops. I've always just got what they gave me at the grocery store. If I can inspire you to think outside the box a little bit, that's amazing, and that makes all this worth it. Like I say, if nothing else, I'm having fun feeding my family. I'm the only one that's doing anything with this. I'm the one filming it. I set up my camera, and I sit down here and I talk to you. What happens, happens. Like right now, you see smoke in front of the camera. That's because I got these great pork chops and great jalapenos on the smoker. And it goes away. So, I've been told I've got the perfect face for radio. But if you've got any kind of recipes that you want me to try out, send me a message. My email is bradscomedy@yahoo.com. All you gotta do is send me an email, and I'll be happy to try it out, because this is for you, and it's also for me. It helps me learn new things. And who knows? You might send me something I might just mess up royally, but it'll be really funny if I do. Or it could be the best thing I've ever made. The other night I made a pot of chili, and I just got a wild hair, and instead of putting all hamburger in it, I put half hamburger and half ground pork. And that one thing made a difference, where my wife told me that was one of the best pots of chili that I'd ever made. So you never know. Inspiration strikes, go with it. Maybe something awesome. So y'all make sure that you keep checking this out. I want you to share it with everybody you can. Because the more we get this word out, the more people will be inspired, the more people can cook. And I'll keep making these videos, and you will love what's coming up. Because it's kind of for foodies, but for me, everybody's a foodie. You know what you like, you know what you don't like. Some are fancier than others, but it's for just normal people. And I think that you're really going to like what I've got coming up. So everybody keep your fingers crossed, and we're going to roll with this and just have a good time. I'm going to sit here, kick back and drink my coffee, Might even listen to a little bit of Jackal while I chill out. Who knows? So, it's time to chill out some, y'all. All right, y'all. I done took my stuffed jalapenos out. I forgot to tell y'all I used maple flavored sausage in them just to give it a little bit of sweet and spicy. Uh, See how they turn out? Beautiful. Nice and juicy. All the sausage is done well. We're going to cut into this bad Oscar and see how it turned out. Oh yeah, it's going to be good. Mm-hmm. That's a nice combination, boys and girls, let me tell you. It ain't too hot, it ain't too sweet, it's just, they kind of mingle with each other and it makes it work. So y'all remember all this is maple breakfast sausage, a little bit of shredded cheese, whatever kind you like. I think this is Colby Jack, and some jalapenos. You can leave the seeds in the membrane in and keep it real hot if you want to, or you can pull them out and just have that mild heat. I kind of took some of them out, didn't keep them all out, but I tell you, go enjoy it. Nice appetizer for these pork chops that's coming up. I just checked on them and man, they are beautiful. I am looking forward to them. So we're gonna keep this thing going. Alrighty, y'all. Doing a little bit more waiting, letting these pork chops finish the heeing and sheeing in that there smoker like they need to be doing. And I tell you, they are beautiful. Oh man, they're killing me. The smell is just amazing. But while we wait, I'll jabber at you a little bit, tell you a little bit more about myself. I know a lot of you already know I've got a podcast called the Smoked Meat Podcast. And it has charted an Apple in 13 countries. And right now I'm in the top 5% of all podcasts in the world, which is really awesome. And I started this thing a couple of years ago just as kind of therapy, just for something to do, kind of wash away the day, being on the ambulance and all. And I started, just me and a buddy of mine sat down in my garage one day for 2 hours and just gibberish, but it was so much fun. And I started just doing little solo ones. And I met up with a PR person who started getting me some guests. And they were, stars from back in the day. One of my favorites, I had, Jack O'Halloran, who played in Superman, he played in Dragnet. And he's such a great guy. I mean, he was the bad guy in a Chuck Norris movie, for God's sake, Hero and the Terror. I had Larry Hankin, who has been working forever. He was the bad guy, or not the bad guy. I don't know if he's ever been a bad guy, but he was the cab driver in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Doobie, one of my favorite characters of all time. I love that guy. Even though it's a short part, it's just amazing. He was Joe, the junkyard guy in Breaking Bad and El Camino. He was in Friends. He just did so much stuff. And I changed my PR person, and I'm working with some now that are just amazing also. And they've got me so many great guests, people who you may not know their names, but you know their work. Bassist Leland Sklar. Leland has been pretty much touring since 1970. He's been on over 2,000 records, has toured with everybody, has played with everybody. His studio band is one of the most sought after in the world. And he is the nicest guy, and I've done a couple of episodes with him. Kenny Aronoff, once again, he has played with everyone. He played drums on two of my favorite songs. The drum fills on them from Jack and Diane and from Blaze of Glory. And on the show, he sang those drum fills to me. And it was so cool. And, I had Kenny Johnson from Sons of Anarchy, The Shield, and now he's on SWAT. And Brian Thompson played the bad guy on the movie Cobra with Sylvester Stallone. I was the guy that Schwarzenegger got his clothes from in The Terminator. And I've gotten to meet so many really cool people through this podcast, made so many good friends, because I tell everybody that It's not a normal interview. It's basically me making friends with a bunch of people listening. And that's the way I like to think it is. So y'all make sure you check it out. Smoke to Meat. It's wherever you can get your podcasts at. And just enjoy it. Share it too. I think the point that I'm trying to make is anytime you get a chance to do anything in life, go on ahead and do it. As long as it's not illegal or going to hurt anyone. I mean, I could have done my first podcast or my first video here and said, yeah, that just wasn't for me, and never picked it up again. But because I did it, I got such a gift from it that I like doing it, and I like to keep sharing them with you, and hopefully you're getting joy out of listening and watching. And of course, I've got my bad dad jokes, and they're always fun. Like my daughters even tell them to me sometimes. My oldest daughter, Katie, told me one day. She said, Dad, what's the difference between a bus terminal and a lobster with a boob job? That one kind of stumped me. So I said, what is it? She said, one is a crusty bus station and the other one's a busty crustacean. That is just so awesome. It's so stupid that it's great, and it's one of my favorite dad jokes. But, always do what you can. If it's going to bring a little bit of joy into your life and it's not going to hurt anybody, not going to get you landed in jail, give it a shot. You never know. You may find your next passion. So here in a few minutes, we're going to pull these pork chops off, and I'm going to be kind of passionate about those because Daddy likes some pork chops, as you can tell. Once again, you got a recipe you want me to do or any kind of, anything you want me to do on here, just email me at bradscomedy@yahoo.com, and I'll see what I can do. The worst I can do is just say no, and I don't do that very often. So we're going to give these chops a few more minutes, and we're going to see how they're turning out. Whew. Alrighty, y'all. As you can see, I done pulled these pork chops off. They're pretty. We're going to see how they do in the middle. Oh man, look at that. That's beautiful. We're going to give this rascal a taste. Look at there. Man, that's a pretty pork chop. Son, that's probably one of the finest pork chops I ever made. I tell you, when I started this show, I said everything probably wasn't going to turn out perfect, but I'd be danged if these pork chops didn't. I mean, they're just tender, they're juicy, and they just got that beautiful smoke flavor in them. The rub just added to it without being too pushy. Man, I tell you, need to go on out and get your pork loin, get them cut up. And like I say, once your temp hits about 160, 165, go on and pull them off. You see how these are so pretty. So till next time, y'all take them easy and enjoy that backyard with your family, people.